Hey there, Logan.
Hello.
We're back in space.
Remember how, and I know you already remember, I'm more saying it so other people can hear this conversation. Remember how last week when I was trying to get to my destination
Right.
and I was just jumping and jumping and jumping and I jumped for like 28 minutes.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, we'll do the reset from local parameters or whatever that option is called.
Yeah.
I don't even have it here because it's in the same system as me. And I did that and it didn't work. And then I thought after stream, I was like, what if it was because I was in multiplayer and the multiplayer seems to mess it up?
As we've thoroughly demonstrated,
So
this
I
multiplayer game does not enjoy people playing multiplayer.
So I hopped in before stream and I hit that button, and wouldn't you know it, if the Galdang destination isn't in the same system as my Galdang base.
Oh, dang it. So, what mission are you on now?
The mission I am on is called Patterns in Time Uncover the Past.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Speak
about
to
to
the
pass you.
Fakine cartographer.
I'm about to pass you. There you go.
Look at him go.
Bye-bye. Yes, I need to find the Vakine cartographer. I've talked to several Vakine cartographers, but none of them were this specific one, I guess.
Yeah. It's been a fucking hassle.
I know. Give me a Vakine headache. Quentin says, this game is perfect. 11 out of 10. So Mike and I have been sending these TikToks back and forth
Right.
for like the last 4 or 5 days.
All right.
There's a trend where a guy put on like a paper cone and threw like a blanket over his shoulders and then walked around in like a squat position with a little butterfly net.
Okay.
And he's saying that he's a gnome, and he's honestly being a nuisance because he's running around in public and like
Yeah, that's
going back behind counters and stuff.
Yeah.
But people have taken it and like have given gnomes lore, and now that the gnomes are fighting knights, and people are just, except for that first guy who did it. Sorry, I'm loyal to the Knight Empire, Logan. Oh, see, I'm on the gnome squad.
Oh boy.
But people have taken it in that.
Run till that, gnome boy.
But like, besides the original guy who was running around in public and being a nuisance, the rest of them are running around like in the woods with little sticks and making little huts.
All right, yeah.
And then people are dressing in full knight armor, walking around in the woods, saying that they're hunting the gnomes.
Down with that.
And there are even people who are like, we're the mice people and we side with the gnomes to give the gnomes safe passage from the knights. So it's basically gnomes versus knights on TikTok right now, and it's so good.
Mercs.
And Mike and I have been sending each other all the TikToks that we see. Well, I'm sending Mike all the ones I see. I don't know if Mike's sending me all the ones he sees, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this trend. I'm glad that it's evolved from being a public nuisance to running around in the woods dressed as gnomes and knights.
That's pretty good. When are the Fae gonna get? Yeah. We gotta have a 3-way battle. We gotta wait for the Illuminate to show up.
I've seen people dress up as dwarves. And I've seen a few elf people. But it's mostly gnomes and knights. And the gnomes are just, it's either a first-person perspective where they just hold their
look at
camera
that.
really low to the ground.
Yeah. Look at this one that just docked.
Oh, look at that. Is that a variant of the starter ship?
That's a fighter. So any of the that have this like long kind of gun barrel thing on it, those are fighters, and they can have any number of wings on it. So like mine, Golden Vector, is a fighter. So you can see the fuselage is that long, kind of needly pointy one, but mine has the there's a word for that, the downswept wings.
I like it. But
But I also have this ship, which is very similar to that ship. But mine has more of a needle nose and that one has like an air ram nose.
If you put flames on the side, it'll be faster.
Yeah.
But anyways, there are two kinds of gnome videos. They're the ones where it's like a person is recording their friend walking around with a pointy hat and a stick and
Okay.
a blanket draped over their shoulders, and they're walking in a crouch position. But
Yeah.
there's another one where they're like holding their camera down low to the ground, and they're acting like they're like Pav, you're a gnome.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know, it's become better than what it originally was, and I'm thoroughly enjoying how everybody's like getting really into Gnomes vs. Knights.
Yeah, I much prefer the. Oh yeah, there's these wings too. These sort of like frame wings. This is a fighter over here as well. This is a cool looking ship, dude. It looks royal. I much prefer the trends that sort of branch off into their own subculture, not the ones that invade normies.
Right. Well, because they took it outside and went into the woods.
Yeah,
and they're
that's
not
perfectly
they're not
fine.
bothering people, which is perfect.
Yeah,
I love
as long
that.
as you're not destroying people's stuff or getting in people's way or recording people without their permission, like that's
And as
perfectly
And as far
fine.
as the original guy was doing, he wasn't breaking anything. He was just going behind counters where he shouldn't be in like restaurants and shops in
Right.
the mall.
And that's not destructive; it's just disruptive.
It's
So that's not-
just kind of annoying.
right. It's not the worst thing in the world. So like, comparatively, it's harmless, but it does sort of encourage other people to do that kind of thing, and that's what I don't like is when that stuff catches on.
Yeah, and it caught
It
on
was like,
in the best way it could have.
It was like, for a while there was a trend of you filming yourself like tripping in a McDonald's and dropping
yeah.
all your food everywhere. And I'm
Or
just like,
or being in a grocery store with 2 gallons of milk and you trip and
just-
throw it in the air.
just chucking. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, come on, like.
That was trending when I was working at Publix.
Oh my god, it's just such a pain.
So question,
All right.
what do I do about this derelict freighter?
Okay, here we go. This will be fun. I wonder if I can see. Hold on, let me get in my.
I have been able to see your interplanetary whatever thingies. I've come up to you and you've been looking at stuff, so you would be able to see what I'm doing
Okay.
if you flew over here.
Switch over to that one. Derelict freighters are a very different kind of gameplay in No Man's Sky.
Do I land somewhere?
You do, yeah, and I'll show you where. If it goes down, it's anhedral. If it goes up, it's dihedral. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing stuff like that when I was building planes in Kerbal.
Whoa, you showed up and then a second one appeared.
Oh, yeah, I imagine. Again, we're sort of messing with stuff. Okay, so the docking bay. Let's see where. It's probably up here, if I had to guess. Could have the icon on it. Why don't I see the icon? Am I on the underside of it, maybe?
Do I fly to like the
You'll see
derelict
a-
freighter logo?
Yeah, that's what I thought. There should be a place to land on it. There should be like a handful of pads to land on.
Maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. Let me fly around it from somewhere else.
Or is this maybe not one that you can land on? Mike says, RIP to KSP2. Fell to feature creep. Yeah. Where are the landing pads on the thing? Maybe this isn't one you can land on?
So what do you do with it if you can't land on it?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can hail it. Nope. No communications. So normally, what you would do is you land on it, and then you can walk into the bridge, or like kind of the docking port, and it'll tell you that everything is offline. And then you can start a sort of rebuild.
And you get your own freighter?
No, you don't get it, but you get a lot of resources from it. So this is no longer a valid ship. This thing is destroyed. It cannot be recovered. But there are modules in it that you can use to upgrade your freighter. But
yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere to land.
yeah, okay. So yeah, this has cargo pods, so we can get stuff out of the cargo pods.
Where are the cargo pods?
Let's see. There's little orange dots on your
radar?
Yeah.
I don't think I have that.
Yeah, this is being weird. There is a mission that will take you through derelict freighters.
All right.
Show me your missions. Go to... Oh, no, wait. A planet in distress is a different thing. Go to Under a Rebel Star?
No, that's... I gotta do Outlaw Station stuff.
Okay. What's on the next page? Salvage site. Kashira Ihia.
Oh, that's this.
Click on that one. Salvage materials from
Use
the wreck.
Scanner. I didn't scan anything.
Okay. So I'll kind of get out of the way. Salvage cargo pods from the wreck 0 of 0. I think it's because I shot the one that was there.
Okay. Well, now I know what to do for next time.
But see, over here, these look like I can see the cargo pods. So like, fly up to me and look at this thing.
There, okay.
Because this thing right here in front of me is, if you want to look at stream, this thing right here is a cargo pod. And if I start to shoot it, it'll have a health.
I feel like that just destroyed whatever was inside.
It does, but you're supposed to get the stuff out of it. But that's probably not working right because multiplayer.
Oh, you're right.
So with this kind of derelict freighter, all you
just
can do
shoot pods
is get stuff out of it. There's a more in-depth one where you get out of your ship, go into a freighter that has no life support systems, which means it is freezing cold, and you have to turn on these like heating machines, or you will like build up freezing damage. And you can recover materials while you're in there.
Hostile ships approaching.
Oh, we have hostile ships on approach.
I don't. I'm going to the anomaly.
Do you not?
I mean, I do, but I'm about to not be.
Oh, okay.
They're coming for that Jold.
Uh-huh. I ranked up my Vakeem standing.
What happens when you get 9 out of 9? Are you just like they're your best buds?
I don't know, actually. I haven't topped up any of my alliances. He tried. They always do that. Anytime they start taking heavy damage, they all just go into a corkscrew.
Technology recharge.
Select the Vakeen artifact.
Oh, you got a thing to do?
Yeah. Can't fly backwards when I'm inside the atmosphere or something, apparently.
No, can't do that.
We're like, land here, but I can't land here. I can't see anything on this planet.
Are you too? I think you might be too high. Okay, that's the ground.
Why can't I land on this planet?
I don't know. I mean, there's a house over there, so
Where's
clearly
the
you can
house?
land that little dome shape on your radar.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right, so what was I doing?
This is a hyper radiated planet.
Neat. Didn't you use living shards or something like that to upgrade your ship?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take a page out of your book and do that.
Technology recharge.
Quentin says, "Watch out for roaches because it's so irradiated." Okay, so
Of course, when I want to get out and walk around, there's a storm happening.
mm-hmm.
What you looking at, mister? He's like, who are you?
Dummy. Quentin says, "Oh, I thought you were gonna go through and flip all the switches off." And I have no idea what he was talking about.
I don't either. So I'll just say, yeah.
Weather update. Storm.
Oh, storm's clearing. Looks like I can get out of this hole now.
He was looking around the cockpit and looked like he was doing some sim stuff, and with the switches and buttons on it. Oh, He's playing DCS or IL-2 Sturmovik.
What is up with this planet? They're like, get out and walk, and then they're like pointing me up a mountain.
Oh, you should be able to use your backpack. If it's straight up, your backpack is super efficient. Huh, yours doesn't last very long. Which is weird because I thought we had upgraded it. That's better. Mike says, oh, kind of off topic. Do you know this program called Lossless Scaling?
I do
No,
not.
I don't. It sounds neat, though. It sounds impossible, but I'm interested.
All right.
Okay, so I have 4 radiant shards. Let's see how much I can get for that. Alright, 200 nanites. Bad, not bad. On Steam, it's not actually lost the scaling, but it has a lot of upscaling algorithms packed together and a frame generation one that you can just inject in games that don't have them. That's pretty cool. I saw someone do that to, I think it was Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which runs at a high frame rate, but there aren't very many frames in the sprite animation. So they used something like that to inject kind of frames in between the ones to smooth out the animation, and it looked really good to me, at least, as someone who doesn't play fighting games. So I'm not super sensitive to the animations or, you know, frame data and stuff like that. But watching, you know, a Tatsu come out at like 120 frames per second is pretty freaking cool. Might be useful if you got a Steam Deck or something that like that runs Windows. I do have something alike that runs Windows. Maybe you can turn a game that's capped at 60 into 120. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Especially with video cards getting stronger and like you did literally download frames per second. Be right back at upscale Pong. Upscale Zork next. Where's my ship? There's my ship. I mean, it sort of gets into this weird motion smoothing thing for TVs to where, yes, on a technical level, it looks better, but it's not what the creator intended. So it has some weird sort of side effects to it. But on a scientific level, I think that's really cool.
I just love hurtling towards the opening of these as fast as I can to see if it'll catch me. Sometimes it doesn't.
TV motion thing, smoothing sucks, says Quentin, and the dynamic color range. They just need to stop with all that stuff. Yeah. We've gotten to a point where it's too easy to send a good signal. And now they're like, well, what if we made the signal even better? It's like, just leave it alone. It looks great.
I have a problem with my parents' TV.
I don't need to watch the local news in 8K.
The dark scenes are like way too fucking dark.
Yep.
And I've gone through all the settings to see if I can't turn it off. Turning up the brightness doesn't do it. It just puts like a white filter over top of everything.
Yep. So you're watching it through tissue paper.
So it's like, I can't figure out how to fix that TV. It's so frustrating. My parents are always like, I can't see. And I'm like, well, I can't see either.
Our TVs have a ambient brightness to where if the room is dark, the TV will darken.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, so I had to disable that because
I turned that off on my phone because
yeah,
it's like, oh, it's kind of bright or it's kind of dark in here, so let's darken your phone for you. And then they darken it way too goddamn much.
I always talk about it, but when I think it was on the PS3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the PS3 because we were watching a Blu-ray of something. It was like Mission Impossible or something like that. And it was just, the screen was just black. And we could just see like a few things moving around every once in a while. And I was like, I don't think this is right. I get that this is supposed to be like a nighttime scene and we're sneaking around in the shadows and stuff. I should be able to see something, right? And I think looking back now, it was probably something like I was using the wrong color range, like Quentin was saying, or there was some setting that was not correctly set, but it was just, I may as well have turned my TV off.
My parents were watching a movie. It was, I don't know what it was. It had Ryan Reynolds in it, and it was a time traveler, and Ryan Reynolds met his like younger self. They met their dad, who was played by Mark Ruffalo.
I thought you were talking about Looper there for a second.
Not for a sec. Not important. But she was trying to watch this movie, and the scene, and they were Michael Baying it so bad in that movie. All the action scenes were extremely fucking loud. And all of the quiet and all of the like not action scenes were super quiet. So she was constantly turning up the volume, turning down the volume, turning up the volume, turning down the volume. Like, why do they mix these movies like this?
One of my favorite things about the NVIDIA Shield is it has a nighttime mode. So it compresses all the audio, and it doesn't sound great. Like, I'm not going to say that it's a cinematic experience, but it keeps that crap from happening. So it squishes down all of the...
I just don't understand why it's standard. I mean, it's terrible.
It's because, like you said, because Michael Bay did it.
Yeah, but
And people want to do what important people do. That's why people
But I
make
only
black
really
and
like,
white version.
I really only like 4 of his movies.
Yeah. Well, I was actually talking with Shelby about this the other day. I was like, there's also a cinematic mindset now that emotional means quiet. Like, you can't say anything emotional unless you're whispering. And that trend started in like the 2010s. And now anytime there's anything poignant on screen or like any sort of important conversation, they are whispering to each other. And I'm just like, just use your voice. Just say something out loud. Find a way to emote without whispering. And once I noticed it, I was like, "Yep, we're whispering again. We've forgotten how to talk. The only time we talk out loud is when we're angry. If we are being romantic, we're whispering. If we're sad, we're whispering. If we're scared, we're whispering.
If we're trying to be quiet so the enemies don't kill us, we're whispering.
We're whispering. That's right." One of the funniest moments of that is in Tokyo Drift. When Sean and the Australian girl go drifting in her RX-8 at night, she's like, "I just like to come up here, and it's just so peaceful." And I'm just like, you are drifting in a rotary rear-wheel drive car, one of the loudest engines on any car, and you are drifting down a mountain. There are squealing tires and a screaming exhaust and a turbo. You are not whispering to Sean right now.
What if Sean was like, huh?
I can't hear you.
Huh?
Yes, exactly. Mike has never watched Tokyo Drift. That might be the one that I recommend the most. That was the most fun. It's the dumbest, and it's the most fun. So many movies where they're having conversation on a motorcycle. Exactly, yeah. Or in a convertible. If you've never driven in a convertible, no one knows how loud it is in a convertible. You can't hear anything. I don't know why they put radios in convertibles. Because even with the top up, you're just hearing the wind flap against the fabric.
Oh, did you leave the system?
No, I'm still where I was.
Because it's like, oh, do you want to go to Smarty Pants' system? I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm in the same system as him.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just a standard question.
Oh, I bet it's maybe because you summoned the what's it to a different like location in the same system.
Maybe. I don't know.
Speak to a Korvax cartographer.
He says, "My girl agrees. She said she could never hear me in the eclipse." Yep. The only time, and it is a marvel of technology. The only time I could ever talk to Shelby was when I was holding my phone because it does noise cancellation. But when I'm using my earbuds, they do not do as good of noise cancellation. So she was like, I can't hear you. All I hear is your exhaust and wind noise. I can't hear anything you're saying." Okay, I've got 1,000 nanites, and I'm already bored of doing this nanite farming that you did. So So I think
It took me a very, very long time.
I think I'm gonna give up on that. I don't care enough.
I basically put on a podcast and I just went to work. It's certainly not stream work.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna actually loop root.
I found a loop route in Paper Mario, by the way.
Did you now?
Yeah, I haven't been doing them on.
Curious what that means.
I haven't been doing it on stream, but in Rogueport, there is a place. Do you remember that guy Gus who was like standing in the way, and I tried to fight him right away, but I couldn't do it. I wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
Well, I went and defeated him easily because now I'm like 8 levels higher.
Okay, great.
And past him is a room where there's like, it's like little mini missions. And a lot of the times it's like, oh, I lost my key at this part of Rogueport. Go find the key and bring it to me. Or it's basically just a bunch of fetch quests.
Right.
But one of them was go to the store and tell me what all the prices are at the store and then come back and tell me what those prices were. I want to open up a competing store, but I need to know what my competitors are selling stuff for. So I went in, I wrote down the prices of all the items, and I came back and talked to him. And then he's like, oh, I can't compete with that. Those prices are already so low. But here's what you can do. You can buy fire flowers at Rogueport, then go to Petalburg, and you'll make a 5 coin profit for each fire flower you sell.
Okay.
So there's loot routes in Paper Mario.
Very cool. Crap, now I have the hiccups. Yeah, we started doing when we were playing Elite Dangerous, Mike, we started doing these things called loop routes, where you would use the website to find materials that are cheap in one system and expensive in a nearby system. So you load up your craft with as much as it can hold, and then buy all you can, sell all you can, and buy even more, and then sell even more. And that's how you can basically get to an end game ship in like 8 hours. Mike's got elite in the merchant stuff. Wow. Always nice to meet a commander.
What
Can't
the hell?
fight, can't explore. Yeah.
What the hell is this?
You gotta land somewhere, pal. Land somewhere nearby and go for a walk. Or a swim. Really liked the Earth ships, but I sucked at getting credit with them.
Could it possibly be under the
Oh.
water?
Yeah, it's underwater. Oh, so you were Federation? I think I was Federation as well.
Technology recharge.
Right, I was Federation because I was trying to get a Corvette. I settled on my my Python, my Raspberry Python. Imperial ship looked just like designed by yeah. The Clipper is quite curvy.
the atmosphere on this planet's like super hot,
Uh-huh.
but when I dive under the water, the hotness goes away.
Yep. I mean, water can only be so hot.
Look at this yucky thing.
Yeah, it's something.
Technology recharge.
Yeah, I haven't played in a very long time.
I like that the jetpack will just point you in the direction you're trying to look at. What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah. You're gonna need a button mash if it gets caught. X. Tap X a lot. There you go. You can't shoot it until the eyes open.
Technology recharge.
Wake up, you son of a bitch.
Now you can get that what's that
Free
thing called?
eyeball.
Something eye. Hypnotic eye. That's right. And now you can go inside. And you're probably gonna get smacked by something, but it's okay. You can get some oxygen from that oxygen sac.
This is the first underwater thing I've done.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, now I'm gonna play soon. There's so much that has happened to that game. I'd like watch a breakdown video to see what all I've missed.
There's tendrils in here,
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, you're probably gonna get smacked by something.
and I can't kill the tendrils.
There's really not too much to do in there. Grab a few items.
To the ship.
I don't. I'm torn on recommending Odyssey. It's not the best part of that game.
The reviews are mostly negative.
That's the thing. Like, they'll get there, and it's better than it used to be. But from what I've seen, the large part of that game doesn't exist, doesn't take place in Odyssey. Hey, Sergio.
Hey, Sergio.
Like, you still, like, the whole game is about fighting Thargoids,
Technology recharge.
and that doesn't happen on foot. Not yet, at least. The game can be what you want, yes. That's the thing. And that's why I say, like, I have a hard time recommending Odyssey, because the best parts of that game are the ship to me. I'm sure people that love first-person shooters are just like, nope, I am all run and gun.
I wish it was easier to get into exploration.
Yeah,
Because that's what I want to do in the game. I just want to like look around and see stuff,
right.
but it's expensive to do that.
It's expensive and also not really rewarding. You have to invest so much time to get anywhere that hasn't been explored. And
Which
then
is
you
kind of
have-
why I like this game, because you don't really need to invest in anything. You just need to get up and go.
Right. The game puts you somewhere most people have never been. So you're constantly discovering new planets, seeing new things. And then you can play multiplayer and it puts you where your friends are, and then you warp back to where you were. Reselling is the most profitable one. Exploration, in my opinion, is more of a chore. Yeah.
But I just want to like go check stuff out and see stuff.
Yeah.
look at cool and weird planets and such, but the investment's too high to get into that.
Right. I mean, start to finish, Elite Dangerous is the slowest of burns. It takes.
All right, this dog is obviously wanting to go out, so I'm gonna stop ignoring him and take him out before he makes a mess.
All right. Want to do a Beagle run, but I never did. I went to what's the place where you have to fly for like 20 hours to get there? I think it starts with a C. Hold on, I gotta look it up.
He does this thing where he like walks up and touches his cold nose just lightly on my leg. And I'm like, stop it, that's annoying. All right. Let's go show this Korvax guy this cool cube I found.
See here. Eagle Point is around 20 hours. I'm trying to remember the name of the system that it's in because it's bothering me. Let's see here.
Speak to a Gek cartographer. That'll be all the races after I talk to that one. I was hoping if I ignored it long enough that this hailing channel would stop pestering me.
You gotta answer it. It's probably something for a mission.
Listen, all I know is if somebody calls me on the phone and I ignore it long enough, they'll leave me alone.
And then they send you mail that you don't get.
Can't suspend my license if I never open the mail that says my license is suspended. Oh God, what do you want, Artemis? You stuck in a hologram or something? Why are you talking to me? Anyway.
Polonia. Polonia is the place I was trying to think of. Good lord, it took me forever to find that. Holy jeez. But yeah, I flew to Colonia one time. It was a very long trip. And then I did the suicide teleport to get back.
Bologna is my state capital.
Okay. I assume that is probably pronounced Bologna.
Well, my Bologna has a first name.
I know
It's
it does.
O-S-C-A-R.
Go ahead.
Because Clayton's a nerd who likes to pronounce things properly.
I like languages. Here's a secret, Mike. I have an idea why your screen name is Mike Noplay.
Because he doesn't have time to play games.
Right, that's what it is.
He's here for serious business.
I figured Noplay was a interpretation of your last name. Or something like Mike Napoli for a region. Okay. I did
Looks like
try.
I was right. It's because he's not here to play games.
He's not, yeah. Ooh, look at this exotic. Somebody's got a
Can't see
shorty
anything,
exotic.
I'm just looking at me.
Oh, right, yeah. I've been having you on the main screen. Look at this shorty exotic. That's incredible. Can land that thing anywhere. Lady Aqua 69 Uwu. You got yourself a nice ship there.
You want me back on the ship?
I was streaming one time and this guy came in chat and we were just talking for a while and I was like, oh my god, I just got your screen name. And it was like B15N355. And I was like, oh, it's leet speak for business. Your screen name is business. And he was like, no one has ever figured out how to say my screen name except for you. And I was like, I speak leet. I've been on the
Someone's
internet.
hailing me again?
Answer the phone call.
I already did.
Answer it again.
Oh, it's this nerd. The guy was like, oh, I don't have my original body anymore. Oh, I think he's in trouble.
Yeah, everybody needs your help in this game. Nobody can do anything for themselves. You need to follow Galactic Standard Time.
Will these nerds stop calling me on the phone? I'm gonna put my ship on Do Not Disturb.
We had somebody, I think this is at my last job, I'm pretty sure it was. We had somebody absolutely ruin our mail system at work because their corporate phone was an iPhone and they put it on Do Not Disturb, and we had never had anybody do that before. And our system did not know what to do with a device that needed to receive an email but could not send that email to that device because it was on Do Not Disturb. It was an argument between like a server and an endpoint, and it was like, we have mail from you, and the thing was like, I don't care, do not disturb. No, we have mail for you, I have to deliver it. I do not care, do not disturb.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was way more eventful than I expected. I was just like, it's do not disturb. Like, no one's ever done this before?
If I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and somebody tries to text me, do they get notified that my phone is on Do Not Disturb, or do I just not get a notification?
I don't think so. The text still comes through. and
I
you
just
will
don't
be-
get notified about it?
You will be notified of it when you come out of Do Not Disturb.
Because I've heard of people saying, oh, I'm trying to text them, but they're on Do Not Disturb. Like they knew they were on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Like-
there is some sort of
Like they got prompted, this person is on Do Not Disturb right now.
yeah, like an out of office kind of thing.
Yeah. But you could still
Maybe
go
there
through
is.
with it if you want.
Or maybe it's an OS thing. Maybe Android behaves differently than iPhone.
Here, let me put
Or-
my phone on Do Not Disturb and you send me a text.
I'm not going to
I
do that.
wanna-
You know that.
I want to see what happens. Come on, just send me like the number 3.
Let's see. Oh boy, I've got a lot of text in here that I haven't answered. We can see that it's on D&D between Apple devices. Oh, okay. So that's like a blue text, green text thing.
Oh. Well, we're both on Android devices that talk through RCS. I'm wondering if RCS will know that
Oh,
information.
Thanks for the birthday wishes, Logan.
Hey, you're welcome.
I've gotten no indication. It says delivered for me.
I saw on the notification tray something pop up for a second and then go away.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna turn Do Not Disturb off. I have a text from Clayton.
Quentin says, I know that with AT&T Drive mode, it sends a text back saying that you're that's neat. That's a cool feature.
So I guess that was an Android thing. Or not an Android thing, an Apple thing.
Right. Okay, I gotta find a pirate system. How does one find a pirate system?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I know how to find it, but it's... Oh, I just gotta... Oh, I know what I can do.
I never use Do Not Disturb. I
Order.
simply put it on silent. Yeah, that's what I
Right.
do pretty much.
Yep.
It's basically the same thing. It's just I won't get notified at all. My watch has a theater mode
Oh,
where it's like Do Not Disturb, but it only affects my watch. Because if I put Do Not Disturb from my watch, it transfers down to my phone. But theater mode only affects my watch and also won't let my watch light up if I move my wrist around or anything like that.
ah.
But theater mode doesn't exist anymore. So true. So true.
Okay.
Why does every planet have to have a storm going on?
Mike says there's also a famous YouTuber in Italy that is called Mike and has no in the middle of the name. So sometimes people go, is that an alt? Alt has preset times for movie lengths. It's like 2 hours. Oh.
Client requested scans from a specific planet. Consult the galaxy map. Oh. I'm not even on the right planet.
Yeah, it'll tell you where to go.
It's not even in the system. I need to go to the galaxy. And I need to search for current mission.
Be funny if you were in an obnoxiously long movie. You set your theater mode for your watch for 2 hours, and it runs out in the middle of it. Some providers give the option to text back, "I'm in a call," if you call somebody and they're on a call, which one, weird, too, and no one uses SMS anymore. Audio is like WhatsApp. Yeah, like Lord of the Ring Director's Cut Marathon.
I know that there are some I don't know why I started the sentence that way, because that's not how I wanted to start that sentence.
Alright, we're gonna rewind, take it again. And
I know
go.
that Apple is working on a way that RCS is going to be implemented with Android phones that have RCS, and they've already begun implementing it.
Right?
And like, of course, there's issues.
Yeah.
What's happening?
There's always,
Why am I
there's
getting
always
yelled
gonna
at?
be.
Why am I getting yelled at?
You've reached your destination. Land to begin your search. Big text on the screen.
Okay, I'm just got shot halfway across the universe. Anyways, but I find it strange that not all androids are. Of course, I'm on a place with a freaking storm. As soon as I touch down, I'm confused at why some people with Android devices I can't RCS text with. Like, I can't RCS text with Shelby. I have to SMS text her. And I don't understand why, because I feel like I used to be able to RCS text her.
Maybe.
But I can't anymore. I can RCS
Sprint
text.
was bought
RCS
by T-Mobile. I wonder if some functionality was lost in the transition.
Yeah. I can RCS you.
Oh.
But there's just some people with Androids that I don't. Just RCS is not available for, and I don't understand why.
That is weird.
Because I prefer RCS because it'll go over Wi-Fi. And my signal is really bad here. Our phones have two messenger apps. One is the Samsung messaging, and I don't know what the other one is exactly. It's probably just the generic Android texting, unless it's an Apple.
No, yeah, he's right. I do remember that. One is a messaging app made by Google and because it's part of the OS, and the other is like Samsung messaging because it's part of the One UI that Samsung overlays.
I know this is a nitpicky thing on my part,
Okay.
and it doesn't really matter to a lot of people.
All right.
But man, I did not like getting Samsung phones because they just had all that bloatware that I could not get rid of.
Yeah.
And I've heard they've gotten rid of it since then, but it's like, it was so obnoxious. I had all these things that I just could not get rid of.
It's better. The carriers still have apps that are going to show up every time you do an update. But as far as the Samsung apps, I think you can mostly remove or disable most of them.
But that's why I like just getting unlocked Pixel phones directly from Google, because they have nothing. Like, they literally have nothing when you get them. They have the Play Store app, and that is it.
Mike says, I have a no-brand phone just for that. No carrier. He's got a burner. He's off the grid. Drop it in a trash can and walk away.
Whenever I get a new Pixel, I even have to download Messenger, the messaging app, to text people with. Because it doesn't even come with a texting app. I have to download one.
Yeah, it's weird how that stuff doesn't bother me on mobile, but it does on in Windows, because I do the same thing. When I bought my Ally, the first thing I did was hooked it up to a USB hub so that I could use a Windows installation USB and install a completely featureless image of Windows 11. And I do that. It's, every time I get a laptop, I do exactly the same thing. Before I even turn it on for the very first time, I put a USB in the side of it and install Windows 11 from a USB. I remember Mike says, I remember once setting up a Xiaomi and it would receive SMS until I opened the app for the first. It wouldn't receive SMS until I opened the app for the first time. Wow. I have to like initialize it. Quint says, "Oh, what, I don't know why I just thought of this, but Clay, did you happen to see TP-Link's new mobile router?" No. Is it like a hotspot router kind of thing? Or does it have its own data connection? Seems like an issue if you need to configure stuff and you need codes and they just don't get through. Yeah, honestly, for MFA. I'm gonna look it up. Plugs into your phone to distribute. That's really cool. TP-Link. Mobile router. I have a, like, it's probably 6 to 7 years old now. It's a Wi-Fi adapter, or like a Wi-Fi dongle, and it only does like 2.4 gig. That thing has saved me so many times. I bought it for one very specific problem to solve, but just having it has saved the day so many times because I'll image a laptop and it doesn't have the Wi-Fi drivers in it, so I can't connect to my internet to sign into Windows with a business account. And I'm like, I gotta have internet. I can't do this without internet. So I have to either put the drivers on a stick and install them that way, or pop that TP-Link adapter inside and just connect that way until I can download the drivers, and then everything's fine. Few of them actually.
Sergio says, I know I have a bunch of issues with my phone number being from Puerto Rico. Getting things from doctor's offices, MFA, text, etc., sometimes doesn't work.
Huh.
A similar issue, Hank Green talks about how...
Oh, that the science guy.
He's a funny little science man who survived cancer. He made his TikTok account when he was in Australia.
Oh boy.
So TikTok thinks his account is an Australian TikTok account.
Oh boy.
So when he had cancer and he was trying to raise money for charities, he was trying to raise money for charities for cancer people because he made socks, like cancer survivor socks.
Okay.
He couldn't sell them on the TikTok shop from his account. He had to get his
dang.
He had to get his brother John to sell them on his TikTok account shop because his TikTok account was an American one.
What about Tom Green? What's he up to?
I actually saw him on MasterChef recently. Not MasterChef, Hell's Kitchen, not MasterChef.
Isn't Hell's Kitchen? Don't they like? That's not the one where he saves a dying restaurant, is it?
No, that is Hell's Kitchen. Oh, that's not even Hell's Kitchen. That's Kitchen Nightmares.
Okay, great. I'm glad we've
Kitchen Nightmares is terrible restaurants that he attempts to save, but they almost always close down.
All right.
Hell's Kitchen is the one where he has a bunch of amateur chefs come in and compete to be the top.
Oh, okay.
Kitchen, and then
what's the city that Daredevil protect?
The one I just described was Master Chef. Hell's Kitchen is the one where he has chefs on 2 different teams compete. Anyways, they have a big kitchen, the Hell's Kitchen, and there's the red side and the blue side. And
Okay.
while they'll sometimes cut to the audience, people are not the audience. Well, it is the audience, but like the diners at the restaurant. Because like when you go to Hell's Kitchen, you're like watching the show, but you're also eating
Oh,
food.
okay. I didn't realize that.
And I was watching it, and they kept cutting to this one table on an episode, and I'm like, that's Tom Green.
That is Tom effing Green.
Tom Green is just at Hell's Kitchen.
He just had a Thursday off. Dual band Wi-Fi 6 travel router. Portable and durable. Network anywhere supporting multiple modes. Create Wi-Fi in various scenarios. File sharing. Power it with a power bank over Type-C. Please note this model does not support OpenWRT. Do not install Tomato on this router. Captive portal authentication. That's neat. So you can make a VPN over this thing. Dang.
You can make a VPN over most routers nowadays.
Yeah, but just such a small device is really cool. Oh, it is not a MiFi device. Yeah, the data has to be provided to it. So it cannot receive data without some other device. That is cool, though. It's like small enough to fit in your pocket, which is pretty impressive.
Will it fit in Nature's pocket?
Not easily. It's gonna be a chore.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
How much does this cost? How much money am I going to be wasting doing this?
$52.61 American.
I've spent worse. For stupider reasons.
And remember, once it's up there, you can get VPN.
Let's just say we're going to jack it in, all right?
Okay. Yeah. Get your own private tunnel going.
Poke my finger into the router, provided some data. I turned it into the wrong dang guy. I needed
What do
to
you
turn
mean?
it into this guy.
Oh.
Now I gotta kill 15 creatures. Can I do all 3 of these at once? And then get
Yes, you can.
Get all kills at once?
Right. So, like, when you do 15, you will also be killing 11, 10, and 6.
All right.
Mike says I think I should mesh my Wi-Fi. I just did. I bought an extender which turned into a mesh node, and it solved one of the problems I was having.
Mesh Wi-Fi is so cool.
It's neat. So being on a support team when we went from a non-mesh network to a mesh network, it was pretty cool to watch the tickets just drop off. Because people were like, why can't I just walk from the conference room to my desk? And we were just like, it would take too long to explain why you can't do that. Just please trust us that you can't do it. And then mesh Wi-Fi became a thing, and we were like, hey, guess what? You can walk from the conference room to your desk. And they were like, fantastic. I knew I was right. I knew you could do it. And I was like, I can't have this conversation with you. Mike says it doesn't get well into some rooms. I tried to use a repeater. I don't know why it fought my PC though. I think that was like one of the first conversations you and I ever had about technology was you saying that your repeater didn't work for your PC. Quentin has the TP-Link Deco for Mesh. Got yourself a TP-Link environment there? That's just one of the first ones I remember.
This is just on fire.
Is there a wall of flame storm happening?
No, weirdly enough, I'm actually not in the middle of a storm when I touch down on the planet.
Okay. It just happens to be 142 degrees on that planet. Quinn says, yeah, I tried using the Google Nest stuff, but the wireless node quit working after like 3 months.
That's what I use. I use Google Nest.
We had a Nest carbon monoxide sensor.
You have a Nest thermostat too, don't you?
But yeah, we have 2 Nest thermostats, and those are rock solid. Those are fine. No complaints, no notes. But the Nest carbon monoxide sensor just stopped working. It forget what the error code was, but it started flashing a light, and then you press the button for a diagnostic, and it just told us like, oh yeah, it doesn't work. This needs to be, repaired or replaced. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's a carbon monoxide sensor. We just got some that they're not smart sensors, but they all talk to each other on their own little private connection thing. And it's wired into our house, so if one goes off, they all go off.
That's a little bit of a deterring because I was thinking about getting some of those Nest monoxide detectors.
Yeah, it was cool while it worked, and I don't know, as far as I know, we didn't do anything to make it stop working. Like we didn't smoke out the house, or we didn't spray anything on it while we were cleaning. We didn't do anything to it that would shorten its life. It just stopped working.
What you're saying is you're not chill.
Not chill. And so yeah, that was my experience with the Wi-Fi mesh. It's cool for 3 months, and then it just stopped working.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with that with any of my Google stuff. Three more critters.
You can use your visor to see where the footprints or the red dots are.
Well, critters. Some over there.
I'd need even a dumb CO2. Yeah, like that's pretty much what ours are. The only additional thing is that there's wiring in our house so that when one goes off, they're all on a wired. It's not like, I'm not going to say it's like a wired network, but there's a copper wire that sends a signal between all of them. So when one of them goes off, it basically sets off all of them. So I went to the newest version, the Nest Pro, and it seems like a lot of people were having similar issues, says Quentin.
That's what I have. I have the Nest Pro.
And yeah, I think if any of the Nest thermostats started to mess up like that, I would just switch to like an Ecobee or something like that. Which Ecobee seems to be about as close as you can get to a Nest without getting the Nest.
Yeah, I have a full Nest ecosystem here because I
Oh,
got
yeah.
Nest cameras, I got Nest thermostats. I want to get the Nest CO2 things. I got Nest Wi-Fi.
Hmm. And I think you have some other security things that aren't Google branded, but they are certified by Google.
Yes, I have the
Yeah.
August lock.
Right. I didn't want to give away your home security solutions.
Oh, that's okay. I got a gun.
Okay.
My home security is I'll fucking shoot you if you come here.
My home security is that I'll drop the gun, it'll go off and startle both of us.
And it'll keep bouncing and keep firing, and we're all gonna be like, whoa, 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 whoa!
And then it stops and we both just stare at each other. It's like, that was close. You should probably go.
Anyways, I'm gonna rob you now.
Honeywell. I forgot about Honeywell. Yeah. In our attic, there is a thing that I have no idea what it does, but it has like a dozen wires that go to it. It's just this big, flat, square thing about the size of an iPad, and it has like somewhere between 9 and 11 copper wires going to it. And I'm just like, that looks real important, and I don't dare try to figure out what it's doing.
Complete contracts for the GEC 0 of 2. I've done like 4 missions.
Um,
I've done like 5 of these.
Logan, is it because you're in multiplayer?
I don't know.
That's the thing. It could be an old alarm system. It could be.
Here we go. A level 1 GEC mission. I've been just doing explorers and mercenaries.
Okay.
I don't want to fight sentinels. I hate those guys.
It could be. It could be nothing, but it's a lot of wires going to it, and I don't want to mess up anything. Yeah, they're super thin. They're just like angel hair pasta. Vermicelli. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. I just didn't want to. Certain things I don't mind kind of poking around.
Alright, one of these planets have to have some kind of sentinel activity going on. High sentinel activity. There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Or you can go to any map 4.
Oh shit, you right.
Mm-hmm.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Map 4 has the Yorha heads.
Uh-huh. Bound to be a couple with those on there.
Fauna misplaced. Well, where'd you put it?
Ah. Sure hope it does.
All right, where are those nerds that I'm gonna shoot with a gun? All right. I have to scan with the trigger on the controller because if I try to click the scan, it makes a horrible noise. Do I have any bubble gum? No, I do not. I haven't chewed bubble gum in years.
Ah, I see what he's getting at.
Oh. All right.
Quentin asks, did your scanner say thirsty clouds?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh. Flora, lost.
Sentinels unwavering. Resources fair. Fauna misplaced. What does that mean?
I mean,
Also, for a place with high sentinel activity, I sure can't find none.
if you look around, does a sentinel icon show up on the map in any direction?
No, it does not. I'll just start breaking stuff.
Yeah.
There's an animal.
Absolutely merciless.
Sentinels, I'm breaking your Yorha heads.
See if there's a planet with like aggressive sentinel activity or something. Look at those braided cables. Well, Logan, don't mean to break it up.
Sounds like you do me. Oh,
Oh, I see. Yeah, there you go. Start a fight. Take out some sentinels, and then we'll call it there.
uh-oh. Nerd alert. Hey, you knocked that off.
All right, what's your counter at?
Hopefully this game is paused while I'm doing this.
You can just hit left on the D-pad.
It's not telling me. And I'm about to run out of combat.
No, that means they're arriving.
Oh,
And in greater numbers. 4 out of 6. You got 2 more, and then you get jet.
well, I'm gonna pick on the weak ones and then run away.
There you
Oh,
go.
what's happening? Blowing up the ground underneath me.
Yep. That is a terrain grenade or something like that.
You don't see me over here. They're about to whose footprints are these me right now? Bazinga.
Mike says, completely random. I opened Twitter, saw a thing about a pursuit in LA. Opened it. Dude drives better being followed by the police than a lot of people I know. Oh, we got police chase Twitter.
I just want to turn this in.
Yeah.
See if I've actually done this mission right this time. I know that Charlie likes to watch police chases live on his streams.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think I was gonna make that one.
Uh-huh. Got roped in.
There's just a guy sitting on the tip of one of those antennas, just lassoing people. It's not tractor beam. I mean, he's literally a guy out there with a lasso.
He's a straw in his mouth.
Oh, nobody tell my D&D group this. Sergio, if you're listening, cover your ears.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing like a side campaign right now. And we're supposed to make 2 characters.
Uh-huh.
So my backup character, I've decided, do you know the song Fulton County or Fulton Prison Blues?
It's Johnny Cash, right?
It is Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Well, in that song, he's like lamenting about how like he did bad stuff, but now he's in prison about it.
Yeah.
And you can hear the train outside the prison.
Uh-huh.
Well, I made a character who's that guy from that song who escaped the prison and then got run over by the train and got isekai'd into Dungeons and Dragons.
Neat.
So I have a gunslinger who's the guy from Fulton County or Fulton Prison Blues. That's his backstory is Fulton Prison Blues.
Okay, all right.
All right, did that work? Can I finally do the next thing? This guy done being a little dork about it.
Well, you've done 1 of 2. You need to do 2 of 2.
Oh, it said it was gonna give me 2. Ugh.
But you only did 1 mission.
I thought it was gonna give me like 2 credits of like reputation or whatever.
1 mission.
Kill 12
you got-
creatures. All right, well I'll do that off stream.
All right. Let's see. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yeah,
Hold
I'm gonna
on,
miss stream. I'm
hold
gonna
on,
be sleeping through the whole thing.
Hold on. Where is it? Daily, schedule, weekly. There we are. Roll all the way to the bottom. July 3rd. Helldivers 2. Shelby and I.
And maybe you too.
If it's hump day, it's Helldivers. And maybe you. Yeah, honestly.
Not
so
me.
yeah.
I'm gonna actually be asleep during stream, so
Responsible fella.
I've got to get up at 1:30 in the morning to make an airplane.
Sounds ridiculous.
Well, all the other flights were like,
Oh, I get
okay,
it.
all the other
I
flights were
get
like,
it.
okay, you can either wake up at 1:30 or you have to be at the airport at noon, and it's like
I
there's
get
no
it.
middle
I totally
ground
get it.
here.
Yes, to make it to build an airplane. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I suppose thanks to the bot for following us in the pre-roll.
I don't think they followed us. I think they just said that they thought we were cool and to add them on Discord.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks to anyone. Tomorrow is Helldivers, but until then, you can check us out on Twitter. We got Instagram, got Snapchat, and Threads, Discord, YouTube VODs with a fresh batch uploaded for you.
Every Monday at noon.
So yeah, feel free to check that out. But until then, I say have a good night, and we will see you back here tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern, as we play some more video games. Have a good night.
Oh, we need to change the blurb. The blurb still says 24 hours, which we don't do that anymore. Good night, everybody.
Good night. I'll do that. Bye.